Hi loves! In today's video, I want us to discuss how to be happily single, how to move from desperation or from frustration or from depression to living your very best life and eventually finding the person. Today, I'm not going to discuss how to find anybody actually, but the truth is that if you're not happy, you're most likely not going to find anybody. Yet, you're not going to enjoy yourself, right? So I just want us to discuss how you can be single and understand that right now is a moment of grace, because the moment you get married, right, your life is going to absolutely change. So the truth about being single is that if you're single, you don't have to be happy that you're single, but you don't have to be sad while being single, right? If that makes sense, you need to understand that your single years are the best years of your life. If you're sad because you're single, the truth is that if you get married, most likely you're still going to be sad, because marriage is not created or destined to make anybody become happy. Marriage in its own is a form of duty and responsibility. People don't talk about duty and responsibilities associated with marriage. People just talk about the beautiful things that comes out from marriage. Oftentimes, these beautiful things that comes out from marriage comes with a lot of dedicated hard work and intentionality. So now that I feel like I've kept that one apart, let's move into the things that is going to help you enjoy your singleness, utilize your singleness, right, while being very happy and all of those things. Right, tip number one, you need to use your single years to understand the purpose of marriage. Marriage is a beautiful institution. Because I'm a Christian, I believe that it was created by God, and I believe that the person who created marriage had something in mind for marriage. What is the purpose? Why did God create marriage? You need to understand what are your duties as a woman, what are your duties as a man. If you truly even understand your duties, you might stop getting desperate to get married, because truth is that it's a lot of hard work. It's a lot of intentional, devoted hard work, right? And oftentimes it's not as sweet as social media makes it look and all of that. If it's so sweet, people won't be getting divorced. So that's the first tip. To be happy while being single, use your single years to try and understand the purpose of marriage. When God was about to create marriage, he said it is not good that a man should be alone. You understand that part of the things you'll be doing for one another is companionship. Then the Bible now went ahead and said something like he needs a helpmate. So you understand that there is companionship aspects in marriage. Then you also see that there is a helpmate. Before you get married, if you absolutely understand that part of your duty in going into marriage with that person is so that you be helping the person to utilize his own purpose, and that the person is going to help you and utilize your own purpose. The time you're single is the time you should be using to understand, analyze, evaluate, think about the real purpose of marriage. The second thing you need to do while you're still single to be enjoying your single years and not be so desperate and sad that you're single is to have a vision. I believe that part of the reasons that some marriages crash, especially those ones that crash immediately people get married, if you're wondering this happens, is that people don't exactly have vision. They don't know what they want. If you know what you want and you know how to get there, you will be able to find out and figure out the partner that is going to help you get there. To be honest, part of the reasons that God created marriage is complement with an E. He needs a helpmate. Some people will say helpmate, a complete awesome human being that is going to be helping you to be reaching your purpose. You might be good and the other person is also good, but the person might not be good for you. The two of you are going to have a marriage that will be difficult, and that a marriage that you might spend so much time trying to manage. You need to have a clear and a crisp vision. It is based on this vision that you will now have your standard. If you're wondering, after having your vision, you need to have a well-defined standard, and you need to be very steadfast to that standard of yours. If you're wondering, men, high-value men love and appreciate and admire women with standard. You need to have a vision so that you have a standard and something to fall back to, so that you not eventually lose yourself outrightly once you get married. It is from your vision and from your standard that you're going to be able to remove all the people that are good but not good for you. Everybody might be good, but everybody cannot be good for you. It is only one person that you need, right? Have a vision that is both clear and crisp. Set your standard based on the vision and be working towards your vision slowly, one day at a time. Trust me, most foundation of your marriage is going to be based on whether you found the person that is going to be helping you meet your purpose as a human being. It is more difficult to have vision inside marriage than outside marriage. It is better that you always have it, and then as you're evolving, as you meet the person, as you're evolving, things will be unfolding and then things will be getting better. The third tip that I will tell you that is going to help you to enjoy your singleness while waiting for the right person to marry is to find a mentor. Find somebody who is experienced, exposed and balanced, who is going to give you a clear mentorship on how marriage works. For you to actually be in a steady, stable marriage, right, you need to be mentored for 2 years. Part of what makes people's marriages to fail is because people don't get time to prepare for their marriages before getting married. Then you not get married and you realize that it's not what you thought, it's not what they told you. It is completely different from everything you used to know. If you actually go for mentorship class, right, these things will not be so new to you, these things will not be so foreign to you, and oftentimes you would save your marriage, since you most likely marry right. You know how to set your standards, you know how to set your goals, you know how to master the things that pleases the opposite sex and become experts in the things that pleases the opposite sex, right? As a woman, if you love a man the way that women wants to be loved, the man is not going to appreciate you. As a man, if you love a woman the way you think that you would have preferred to be loved, right, the woman is not going to appreciate you. Believe me, at this point, men and women are very, very different people. You need to understand these things. You need to understand how men think. You need to understand how women think. You need to understand how to continue pleasing your woman or how to continue pleasing your man. And you can't learn it from your parents. You also can't learn it from your siblings. In fact, the worst things that will happen to you is if you want to get married, somebody will ask you, do you love him? Does he love you? So you'll not be confused. You'll not think it is that beautiful butterflies that always flies in your stomach and all of those things when you see the person that is going to sustain a marriage, or how beautiful the person is that is going to sustain a marriage. Not really. You want to get married at 25. By the time you're 23, you need to start taking mentorship very seriously. There are experts that I've seen online that are quite good with these things. There are also experts that I've seen offline that are also good with these things. Mentorship works. People suffer and perish for lack of knowledge. You need to be aware of what to expect. You need to be aware of how to do things. You need to be aware of the things to say and the things to not say. How to say even the things you're saying, the things to do and the things to not do. It is complicated because human beings are different anyway, eventually. But all of those complications is much reduced if you actually attend a mentorship program, or at least give yourself 18 months to 2 years. Just take it serious and find a mentor. Pay for it also. It is good that you invest in these things. Buy books that people have taken their time to research on and then write. And then those people also have successful marriages too. The fourth tip that, in my opinion, is going to help you to be happy while being single is what? Start training yourself for the role. In case you're a man and you want to get married someday, start training yourself for the role of a husband. As a woman, you want to get married, start training yourself for the role. Trust me, could be overwhelming. Start to train yourself for the role. There are roles that the genders play and play very well. Those roles that you should do as a woman, make sure you're doing them and make sure you're comfortable doing them. The fifth tip is to understand the role of love in marriage. As a single person, you need to absolutely understand the role of love in marriage and how the both genders sees and understand love. The way a woman sees and understands love is different from the way a man sees and understands love and appreciate it also. Understand that there are different kinds of love. Love that people in relationship usually feels is usually the first kind of love that you meet people that are probably going to get married. Erotic love that siblings feel. They want to have conversations for a long time after doing the do and all of those things. Filial love, the love that is very sacrificial, that is going to make you, like when they say love your wife like Christ loved the church, right? It is agape love. You want to desire what is best for the person, and you keep giving the person what is best for him. The love that is not selfish, the love that is very patient, the love that is not jealous, the love that is very kind. You need to understand this role of love in marriage, and then you need to become love. When I say you need to become love, right, I'm not saying love as a noun. You need to become patient, you need to become kind, you need to understand that shit is going to be happening steady every time, but you need to become so good at being patient, so good at being kind, so good at being understanding, so good at being giving, so good at sacrificing. So you need to absolutely understand the role of love in marriage, because that is the foundation of marriage. Love. Marriage is duty, right? But without love, performing that duty becomes so difficult. This is going to lead me to the 6th tip. You need to master how to make yourself a priority. When the Bible says something like, what is the most important commandment? Love your neighbor as you love yourself. The Bible is saying that it is good to love God. It is good to love your neighbor. It is important to love yourself. To be honest with you and to be fair to you, it is difficult to love somebody else if you don't love yourself. It is difficult to give somebody else joy and happiness if you yourself, you're not happy or you're not joyful. It is difficult to make somebody else complete. Like I told you, one of the reasons for marriage is complement with an E, right? It is difficult to become a helper in helping the person to become the person that God created him to be. If you're not becoming the person God created you to be, it is good to make yourself a priority. It is very, very necessary and important to understand that you need to become a whole, complete individual. Becoming that whole, complete individual, so that you meet another awesome human being that is a whole and complete human individual that is becoming also. And two of you now meet yourselves and start to help yourselves and start to help one another, right? Make yourself a priority. Don't get so lost in the process of being sad that you're not married, or being frustrated, or being depressed, or being so desperate and all of those things that you lose yourself, that you cannot even help loving yourself. You need to master how to love yourself. Take it from me, it is me that is saying it. It is difficult to love somebody else if you don't love yourself. You might want to love the person, it's not like you don't want to, but you don't love yourself. How will you not love the person? My next tip and the last one is that you need to understand that it's God that created marriage. God can see the heart of a human being, the one you're not seeing. Sometimes you see somebody, the face of the person is so good, the person speaks oral polished English, she dresses so fine and all of that, everything check, but the person's heart, you're not seeing it. God knows how to discern people's thoughts. He knows how to discern people even more than they think they know themselves. So you need to help love God. You're not supposed to be using God to find a good spouse for you, but God that created marriage, that wants you to get married, knows the one that is good for you. You need to take out 3 years before you get married to pray fervently and devotedly for the family you are marrying into, for the person you are going to spend the rest of your life marrying, the person that is going to be the mother or the father of your children. If you like this video, please send it to your friends. Subscribe to the channel if you have not, and then I'll see you in my next video. Bye!